Hey there, beautiful Ascension pioneers and divine companions. Wow, today I have so many things to talk about. Also, at the same time, I feel like I want to be speechless. I feel like I just want to be in silence. This is what I'm really guided to do lately. And I know there's a lot of people who are waiting Ascension messages from me. And sometimes I feel them, and their desires, but I just have to continue to walk my path, which, sometimes there's so many forces coming towards you. Like it was shown to me in the recent card I was, looking at. And sometimes you just get so many energies pushing towards you, and you're just maybe feeling like you're one against so many. Like I always say, there's so many of you, but I'm just one of me. But then the message was, but you're on the dragon, even though you're just maybe a few arrows pointing towards you, and you're just one. You're just actually standing on your dragon, and you have the power, you have that inner power. So if you're waiting for that message from me, know that I'll be catching up with those this week, by the end of the week. And I just need to do that in divine timing. It's just how Spirit is, Sometimes people want it because they're not patient and trusting enough, but do trust that I always do my messages, all of them. And it will come in perfect alignment of your inner guides. So, where to begin? I just don't know, because today I want to make a video about soul remembering, about soul remembrance. And it's just something that's happening within me, like something wants to brew, something wants to start coming out more. It's like brewing up inside of me, and it's becoming really strong. It's becoming really intense, and it feels like the sensation when you can't describe it. And yesterday I was posting, before I left for my mountain hiking day and mountain treat, I was writing about this because I was receiving messages, not just through cards, but Spirit, how it's showing me that it's very important right now to express ourselves as uniquely as we can. Not just people say, be authentic, do what you feel like doing, but in everything, every aspect, how we behave, the dresses we're wearing, the clothes, the jewelry, everything we put in ourselves, also internally, like food, everything is becoming a direct representation of who we are now. And like a beautiful divine companion Kara wrote in her latest Ascension note, she said that in the new and with this portal, which is so much strengthening our path of Ascension now, it's about infinite expansion. It's not about going somewhere, it's about bringing our internal heaven here. So she was saying that this inner vibration dimension that we have, this awareness, how I call it, our own personal awareness, is not about either being Syrian or Pleiadian and whatnot. It's about bringing that unique vibration here and embodying it. So with this, how we represent ourselves in everything, in all aspects, we're actually grounding ourselves. So when we're grounded in who we are, also with the way we wear things, how we express ourselves, sometimes for someone who does not have that understanding, it might seem shallow or superficial because they don't know that this is important, because we're here. In the physical, things have their shape, and this stone is different than, for example, this piece, this stick, or a piece of flour, or anything. It has a unique vibration, so do we, and it's physical. And the clothes we put are also physical. So they represent the level of awareness we're at, how we vibrate, what we put out there, what we reverberate out. And this is becoming really important and strengthened now with this equinox portal. This is what's coming through me at this time. Sometimes it might feel strange because there's things happening, and I will share this through my personal example as well. It's how I like to do things, that. And it's just, we need to trust it. Whatever it is, we just need to trust it. It was coming a lot for me, and I've just been noticing, and this is what Spirit's showing me, is that when you're congruent with your soul, when you're living up to it, you're leveling up, you're embodying it, you're choosing to embody that without any fear, shame, guilt, anything. Like, people are going to think I'm nuts because I'm wearing elvish clothes or anything like that. It doesn't matter. It's old. Let it go. It's just so old. It's worn out. It's used. And the new, we're so fully excited about who we are when we're unveiling ourselves each time. Wow, more of me. Each time we step further, each time we step into an even grander part of ourselves, even grander us. Of course, that brings more power. More power brings more responsibility, but more responsibility brings more wisdom. So our light shines more brightly because of that. We're being initiates in each cycle and on each level. It's different and it's new and it's amazing at the same time. So this is what this equinox portal really brought, as I'm feeling. And ever since I moved here, I'm reconnecting back with that elven essence of mine, but it's becoming really strange now because it's getting very physical too. It's not just the energy that I carry, because, you know, sometimes people say, well, you know, thank you for holding this energy, and it's not really necessary, because it's just who we are. We can change who we are, you know. If I would shift out of my body right now, my soul wouldn't change. My soul would be at that level of light that it possesses on the soul awareness. I've been talking about this a lot as well before. So we cannot not help ourselves to not be who we are. We just are. We're just bringing it more into the physical now. And this is what this, like I said, this portal is serving us for. Those of us who have been stepping through it. And there's a lot of people who might experience this portal differently. Everybody will on their own level. But what Ascension Pioneers are experiencing now is this huge amount of self-authenticity that is not just what we do or what we like to, you know, bring into our awareness, but exact physical living. Like I said, ever since I moved here, everything changed profoundly. I feel like I'm living this magical life. And sometimes there are things, you know, that trigger me and push me as well, but they always activate new awareness. So when I need that retreat, silent space is when I actually go, I retreat, I go into nature. I'm not doing anything. I'm just observing. I'm just pondering. Things come to me. So in that space of deep solitude and silence, what's happening is that the new level of awareness is being seeded and anchored into us. We're still anchoring a lot after this equinox portal. I'm feeling a lot of, you know, electricity and buzzing through my spine since yesterday again. Also had a bit of a tummy ache today. My mom felt quite sick, so this is a massive amount of our own divinity that we're now also inhaling. And sometimes where the body's still not able to hold that much amount of light, that light will make its way through and it will transcend it. It will kind of help it through our own soul alchemy, which is what we're doing. Through our own uniqueness, our own soul alchemy, we're actually doing this work beautifully. We're bringing it forth. And like I said, when you are totally congruent with your soul, you know who you are, you shine it forth without fear, then others will acknowledge and accept it too. And those will be people, of course, who have those eyes to see. You know, not everybody does. Some people will think you're crazy or they will judge you still. It's their level. It's okay. It's what they choose to play. But the people who are in their heart essence, they will feel it. You know, sometimes people say, others don't acknowledge of me. They don't approve. Because probably you're still not approving of yourself 111%. You're still... Maybe there's still a piece missing there, and you're just not seeing and embodying it. Maybe you're seeing it, but you're not embodying it. But when you do, everybody will be applying with you. Everybody will be aligning. You know, when I started expressing myself as an elven energy, as the queen, the elven queen that I am, and I've been shifting from princess to queen and all of that, you know, and the aspect is that the queen is that of serving others, of paying it forward, that higher wisdom, higher integrity. And when I do, others are also, you know, congruent with that, and they're applying with that, and they're saying yes to that, because you said yes to yourself. This is what my message about soul remembrance is really about. It's so important, because when you see that people are still not approving, it means that you're still not approving with something. There's an aspect there, and go explore it. It will be offered, you know, as a new initiation for you. So when I did that, I get a lot of responses from people on that level. You know, one time I made the calling of, where's my elves? Where are you guys? There's a few people writing, and I still experience this lack of physical embodiment of this, and, you know, in the surroundings, like people here. But we will meet, you know, in divine timing it will come. This reunion will take place. And one of my divine companions was writing this to me in an email yesterday. She said, I'm really guided to connect with others, especially Elven Vibration and Spirit has been sharing with me yesterday this sentence and the phrase, the elvish grids. You know, and this started amplifying for me ever since I received the crystal, the Master Crystal Auralite. And you remember me taking it to the mountain and bathing it in the sacred waters next day. It was quite a trip, but the crystal is really programmed for awareness, because I myself am tuning into higher levels of awareness now. And the thing is that this journey is one. It's not separate. This crystal is direct representative of who I am and my task and my quest and my journey. And it has chosen me. You know, the crystals like that with such power and magnitude, they always choose you. And there's a lot of people who were sensing it when I was sharing it, only through video. You know, imagine in the real, wow, in the real life. So this, I feel I'm starting this new higher awareness path when I'm really going to be operating from this higher level. I always felt this level, but maybe I wasn't directly embodying it yet. In like all of my aspects, and this is what this portal is about. Are you ready to embrace and embody all of the aspects of who you are? Not just wish and know they exist, but bring them here through everything that you do, and it's just amazing once you do. So with this crystal, a new journey began, and it reminds me of my path of Atlantis and holding that space back then. And I had these oracles before called Atlantis cards from Diana Cooper. That was back then when I remember I was speaking to that psychic woman who I was referred to through my friend. And she told me, that I used to be a high priest in Atlantis, but it didn't really trigger me. It didn't activate me. I'm not saying it wasn't true, but I'm saying it didn't activate me through deep emotions and deep feelings of truth. As for example, I was activated when I was watching the Lord of the Rings movie and when seeing Galadriel and all of that. And I was really crying and I was feeling it. So real remembrance, soul remembrance comes through feeling. And these cards now, I have again. I have given them to someone else at that time. I don't even know who that was. I don't remember at all, to be honest. But now I've seen them and I started thinking, gosh, but I remember the images. They had those pictures like the elves and the kind of gowns like the elves, very similar. They were actually showing the people there in the golden age and the high priesthood. I'm thinking the gowns are matching. So I need to have those cards. They were drawing me again. You see, this is kind of like spirit message to tell me that a new Atlantis vibration level, a journey is beginning here, but in a new way, in a different manner, to different sets of experiences on how I operate. Before it was more like a wishful thinking note, just remembering, now embodying it. Now the soul remembrance is actually coming through direct embodiment of it. So yesterday I was lying there in the mountain and ravens started flying all around me, and they're all about shape-shifting in our external reality because we're shape-shifting physically as well. I hope I don't get those pointy ears though. It would be kind of weird. But what I want to say is that they were flying there and they were a message for me. I knew it. I didn't get it at the beginning, but then I did. Because they were flying at a specific area right where I was, and right when I started meditating by my large tree. It was a tree that was starting to change color already. The other ones didn't, so it was applying change. And they're bringing messages of going deeper into magic and synchronicity and just tuning into that magic, being your own, creator. And they were just bringing me messages that I really need to step into the new even further, because on each level it might be comfortable and good, but I'm continuously guided to keep moving. It's like Spirit always says, keep moving. It doesn't end here, period. Keep moving, keep moving. It's like, oh gosh. Like in the mountains, you keep walking. This is how, when you're a true initiate of the spirit, looks like. This is how it feels like. So I was just sitting there and they were bringing me these messages and they were flying over a specific area, which means that a specific area needs to be addressed in my life. So I said, okay, I really, there's something needed to be done here. So what was happening is, on the day that I took my crystal, if you remember, to the mountain, he was actually activating me, because this crystal always works through truth. It's how I operate too. But he was sending me additional messages. He was helping me to receive them. And all of a sudden I was returning from the mountain and I was having this vision or seeing that I'm buying a dress, like a wedding dress, online. And the moment that I had this experience, I said to myself, well, what wedding dress? What do you mean? I don't even have a groom yet. What wedding? Why wedding dress? I don't understand. It was this random guidance that only can happen when you're not even thinking about anything. Just walking, it's just in pure thoughtless state, and then guidance comes. You will recognize this, when you're working with your own internal guidance. You know how it comes. And you're all in that moment and, in that mode of jaw-dropping. And the aha moments, but actually also the ha-ha moments. What is this? And you're just guided to trust. And then it doesn't always mean directly this what you're seeing, because the mind likes to give it meaning, but then wait for more guidance to come and follow along that guidance. So then later on I was guided to look at these gowns, because the third dimensional wedding dresses or ceremonies or, being within the law system, they really don't resonate with me. And I'm like, I don't want to do that. So I continued to move further, and I was being shown this dress, of course, from Galadriel, which is what I really resonate with this essence of that beautiful, graceful, elvish queen. And I'm thinking to myself, but this is so expensive, how can I afford this? The guidance was again, why think that way again? What do you mean you can't afford it, you know? It's always something that you need on that level. And I'm thinking, well, I am receiving these messages now about appearance and how important it is. And you know, there was also tiara when I was looking at. Wow. I started crying, you know, and then I was instantly guided to browse for Galadriel's photos. They activated me so deeply because, you know, everything is just like that trigger point you need on that level for more remembrance to come through, and more we're like decoding ourselves. Remember, please, that our soul quest, our soul path is not just in astrology or numerology. There's just not just there. You got to know it everywhere. It's how you used to feel as a child. Remember, I always wanted to wear princess dresses, or how you were, the things that interest you, what draws your attention, all the messages externally, everything. It's not just written in your astrology, this one tiny part. You're always decoding yourself because you have encoded yourself prior to coming here. Your soul essence speaks through all of life, and it runs through you. And I remember this person who I met once. He said to me, "Oh, Poloni, you have so much light. You have so much life in you. Wow. You bring people to life." And this happened to me in many stages of my journey. I met different people, and some of them were pretty in their ego self. They were really lost, even maybe some of them. Well, we're never lost. We're just wondering about, you know, having different experiences. I remember after meeting me, I'm looking back, each one of those people have drastically changed their life, or either they met their partners or something happened. So literally bringing to life with that light that I have inside me on a soul awareness level. So there's a lot of things adding up to me right now, and when I'm in solitude, I need those moments because, like I said, in deep solitude, new awareness comes. And I'm in that mode right now when I wish to know more, when I want to get more answers, like not through rush or forcing, but I'm just sensing they're coming. Things are shifting so much that how I did things in the past, I don't even know how I'm going to do anymore, because they're just, it's just not me anymore. It doesn't match me. And so I was doing this. I was connecting with the vibration of Galadriel, and please know that is about the archetype. It says there, you know, in Wikipedia, when you browse, she's a fictional character in Tolkien's series of blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, she's not fictional because she's an archetype, and archetypes are real. And they're about the, like I said, the variations of creations out there. And you look at the planet, and not just the planet, but everywhere, it's all mirrored, you know. I can't even describe the magnificence of Source, how it flows through all life. It's just how smart, how genius. Amazing, this divine intelligence, just adding, you know, all the pieces up, each having their own play and purpose. It's just so beautiful, it's so grand. So I was looking at those images. Let me get back to that again. I just couldn't believe how they triggered me, how I started to cry. And then one of my companions on the Elvish note, he was sending me music that also was triggering me. I just felt so at home, and we're meant to bring that home energy, not to, oh, you know, I miss home, I want to go back, but bring it here. How can you bring more of that home here in direct embodiment through your uniqueness? This is what this video is about. Don't forget, it's not about me. I'm just sharing my journey as an expression of my uniqueness, of my source. Don't analyze me, because a lot of people have done there, many times done that, failed each time, because it's not about me. It is for me, and it's my journey. It's my job to walk my path as an initiate of light. I had this experience lately with a divine companion who said to me that she feels like she has passed a mountain torch to me right now. And sometimes people feel that way because they resonate with you on some level, but this is not really how it is in truth. You know, spirit passes the torch. When you're the initiate of your spirit, your higher self, you pass yourself that torch. Nobody does it for you. People like to think that sometimes, but it's not how it is in truth. You know, everything that I am, sometimes people say, oh, you're so blessed to be here, or to live that way, or you're blessed. I'm not blessed. I'm just living in awareness, and living in awareness means that you're consciously creating through that awareness, and you bring yourself to that birthing of who you truly are, and you birth yourself, and therefore you're blessed. But it's not because you're special or chosen that you're blessed. No. You know, people done that with many archetypes, like Jeshua. But these are just souls who knew who they were, what their purpose was, and therefore they were blessed because they lived through awareness. So everything that you see around me, it's my mirror of my internal self. Everything is a mirror of what I'm creating through me, through my soul essences. And this is what you can do yourself, because we're each source experiencing ourselves and remembering and bringing its self-worth to a new level of expansion in creation. So, therefore, my beloveds, there's no coincidence, when I was reading about Galadriel, the Lady of Light, working with the element of water. There's water all around here. This is where the most water is here in our country, probably. She's working with the seership energy. She's a seer. She knows things. She's highly intuitive. She's knowing. Everybody comes to her for guidance. She's always wandering alone in the forest, like I am, living with her beloved. That's beautiful. And she's just the archetype that really makes me remember who I am, that shows me that beautiful mirror. And it's not a fiction, nothing that is out there. Remember, even Einstein said that. Everything you can imagine is real. Because imagination comes from the divine self. Not that fanatic, like, I want to be this, I want to be that. There's a lot of people, who came on my path and they said, I want to be like you, I think I have the same knowledge. They forcing themselves, so they were always working against themselves. And I always said to them, but you gotta be you. You're beautiful who you are. Don't want to be like me. That's just copycat. It's really not who we're supposed to be. We need to live our own authentic self. So, with that beauty, expressed through you can activate so many people because you're being authentic and you're putting foundations out there for others to do it as well. And for this earth to become this beautiful expression of everybody walking in their full light, in their full expression, each doing their divine tasks that they're guided to do as it's rightful for them, as it's appropriate for them, as it's passionate for them, as it brings them bliss on their level. It's amazing. This is how we're supposed to live. This is the highest expression of who we are. So when soul remembrance comes, it comes through you. It doesn't come through the mind or you wishful thinking something or wanting to have these experiences, but you've got to allow it to happen. And once it does, it's a gift. And all the gifts are supposed to be used, and that means how we act with the guidance that we receive, how we act, how we example it, how we put it into being an example, how we work with those gifts, how we put it into practice, yes. So, this is what I wanted to share about this. I have so much more, but words fail me lately, the more I want to say, the the less it's truly expressed, because it's really so simple. And like I said, my journey is for me. It's how I remember, and then I gotta live myself. So if one day, maybe, if I'm able to get that dress, which probably it needs to come through me, if it needs to, it will. It's how it is. Even if, there's an aspect of me that says, how will I afford it? It's so expensive because it's custom made. It's like, shut up. What happened? The universe knows best. The creation knows. So if you see me sometimes wearing elvish clothes, sorry. You might think, this is a crazy lady, speaking weird words here, but that's okay. We each understand on our own level, but there's also people who are recognizing, and they're also doing that because they recognize within themselves what they're supposed to do and what they're supposed to birth here, because we need to birth ourselves. So with this portal of light, what I feel is truly, for us, the meaning of it is welcoming ourselves home, finally in the physical, and feeling really like we belong. Like everything that we wish to create around ourselves is a direct representation of who we are within. So, like Galadriel is a lady of light. It's like I feel the lady of light because guidance was told me a long time ago when I was asking for, who I am, and I didn't receive a fanatic answer. Like, oh, you're this and that, or give you a name. No. The only response I received was that I reside within the realms of illuminated truth, and that's it. That's all I need to know. It's an energy space. The home is in vibration. The home is an energy essence. So this is what I'm meant to birth here, and to remind you how you can birth your own. Okay, I could be talking on and on. I know this. There's many things I could be saying, but I think I'm going to be finishing and wrapping up here. And for more, there's going to be more videos. Sometimes you forget to say something. It means it's not divine timing yet. It just comes and flows and goes, and it's just how it is. Stay tuned for more updates from me. Look at the videos I'm sharing next from my landscape, from my Galadriel piece of heaven. My friends made a joke that I should change my name to Polontriel or something like that. I'm like, oh, I'm not doing that. That sounds bizarre. It's really funny. But it's not about that. Like I said, it's about the energy. It's about embodying the purpose. So, enjoy your sacredness. love yourself, birth yourself each day with something new, and allow that emptiness to be filled within, without. Just create that perfection you wish to experience, and pay it forward. So take care, love you lots, bye bye. And one last note, this is what I'm sharing with you guys. This is what I created today. The 7 pointed, the septagram, and the 7 pillars of light. These are the chairs for the divine essences. And I'll be writing about this more, I guess. And they're looking at the sun above the mountains. The mountains are misty today. It's very magical. And this is the sacred space that I created for myself because I reside here a lot. As you can see, the septagram, it's an elvish energy. You can get initiated into that when you fully understand what it is about. So I don't know, after recording the video, I was guided to do this. I didn't even think about it. I just wanted to come to this space and meditate, and all of a sudden guidance said, great. What I did is I sat in the circle. You see, the sun is complying with me. I sat in the circle and wanted to meditate, and then all of a sudden I started drawing a circle around me as I was sitting. So like, oh, I'm gonna put like a stones, and these stones, that consist, the range of the mandala, they're actually 33 of them. So it's a master number, and there you have the septagram in the middle, and that's like a point, the source. And what I did with these chairs is like the elves can sit here. I prepared this for them and for me and for all of you to just feel the magic. Just tune into the magic. Life is so much more than we can see with our physical eyes. And you gotta be ready to be that inner child, that beautiful self that you are, and to share these creations with the world. What I did with this, it's just reverberating energy out. That's what it's doing, and it's facing the sun. This is where the crystal mandala, the last crystal on the equinox portal was placed, and my last video took place here. Yeah, and this is one of my big secret spots just below the mountains, which are so misty today, but so magical. So I'm leaving you with this, sharing some magic as always, and bye-bye.